Welcome. Today, we're going to talk about what this ministry is doing and why.
As you probably know by now, I am not the most dynamic speaker. I may stutter and stumble through words at times. I might and ah. But what I say is different. Not always different. Much of what I say will also be in line with what other people say about God and the Bible. But there are certain things that I have found in the Bible that other people miss. I'm just going to mention a few right now. As far as services go, most often when the church got together, and they would do it daily, it would be a meal that they had together, and there would be teaching, talking about God and the Bible. Also, they had interactive teaching. Rarely did Jesus or the disciples preach. More often they taught, and most often interactively. People would ask questions. Oh, and scriptures for this too, the service format. Look at Acts 2:46, 1 Corinthians 11:33, and 1 Corinthians 14:25-40, etc. Interactive teaching you'll find in John 3:4, Matthew 19:16, Matthew 22:35-36, Mark 9:32, etc. And training. What I would like to do is give much opportunity for new ministers to teach in services and offer them a free ministry school. More often than not, you'll find churches have the same ministers preaching the same messages, or not the same messages. The messages may change, but it's the same people each and every time because they're the pastors. They're the ones in control. They don't want to give other people the opportunity to become ministers. I often wonder, why is this? Is it because they want to maintain the power themselves? They want to maintain the glory themselves. They want to make the money themselves. They don't want people to become pastors and therefore take some of their church away from them. It's worldly desires and fears that, in my mind at least, are stopping them from giving other people the opportunity to learn and grow in ministry. And again, scriptures for that, 2 Timothy 2:2, Ephesians 4:11 and 12, Luke 17, etc. No titles. Jesus said, don't use titles. That's paraphrased. It's Matthew 23:8-12. And instead of saying Pastor John or Father John, it should just be John. Paul, even when he started a letter to the Corinthians or to the Thessalonians or whatever it was, he wouldn't start it by saying Apostle Paul. It would be Paul, a servant of Jesus. If you actually look at the original texts, the word translated as servant is doulos, and that is the lowest of the low. Almost all the time it means slave rather than servant, because different servants had different titles. Like we do today, we have a cleaner or a kitchen hand or a butler or a maid or whatever it might be. They're all servants, but they all have different titles as to what they do, etc. And as far as doulos goes, it was either slave or the lowest servant. So not the butler, not the maid, not the any of the other servants except for maybe the toilet cleaner. They are doulos, the lowest servant or a slave. And so Paul, in starting his letters, no title, it's just Paul, a slave of Christ. When you understand that, you understand that the self-glory people seek in demanding that you use pastor this or other titles. They're totally missing God, which means, in my mind at least, their ministry is out of place and they're being ungodly in doing it. But anyway, let's go on. Correct roles. Now, a teacher is somebody that teaches on the Bible or preaches. A pastor is the word for a shepherd, and they're the ones that take care of the flock. They're not the ones giving the message. They're not teaching, that's a teacher. A pastor is the person that comes and visits you at home or spends time with people in the congregation, directing them, helping them feed on the word. So they're a direct carer. So the roles are out of whack. And you'll find the roles in Ephesians 4:11 and Corinthians 12, 4-7 and 11, 28-31, Romans 12, 6-8, etc. And we are to be spirit-led. The Holy Spirit is free to move, but not forced. 1 Corinthians 12-14, all those chapters, and Romans 12, 5-8. We're also to maintain godliness. Salvation isn't just a prayer, it's a commitment to live as God says. Look at 1 Corinthians 15:33 and 1 John 3:6, 2 Corinthians 10:6, 1 Corinthians 5:12-13, etc. There's a lot of scriptures about taking on a godly life, and that's what Christianity is. It's not the prayer, it's the life. Also, there's no scriptures for this, but I believe that small congregations are practical so that ministries can keep in touch with the people at those churches personally and help them grow in God. So, having mentioned all that, I ask, because these things annoy me about churches that don't get them right, do they also annoy you? Okay, because I was annoyed in the spirit, I was moved to do something. I can't just sit there. I was compelled, and if you are also in the same boat and agree with me, then I ask that you also find the compulsion to act. And one way to do that is to get in contact with me so we can talk about some things that you can do. So please bear with me as what I have done and what I am currently doing is quite a lot. I'll mention that to you. Because of this, I plan to create a biblical church. God wants a biblical church. My idea was to drop about 600 or 700 leaflets in nearby mailboxes, and from that I got 2 people turning up and one who asked for prayer as well, but didn't turn up. So not a good result. Now, that it may have been my method rather than God's, and that might be why it wasn't a great result. But I am compelled in the spirit not only to continue, but to do more. So I turned to Facebook and this group and started creating messages. I also post these messages on YouTube. Since then, I've been inspired to do a few other things, create a What's Christianity About series of videos, which will be about 40 videos from the basics of why to become a Christian right through to advanced Christianity, which is ministry. I'm starting that now. I am currently creating 2 other video series. One is the Bible verse by verse, where I have an AI voice the words and have them written on the screen, and where expansion is useful or in some cases required, I expand on those verses. And the other project is going to be a street interview series. I've started that. You may have seen my first one, where I'll ask passers-by about their view of Christianity. Another project I've started is a new transliteration of the Bible. Why? Well, when I started these things, I looked at a few verses like Matthew 7:13, as I was seeking a name for this ministry, so I studied those verses deeply, looking at over 60 translations and the original Greek via Strong's Concordance, and found that all of them could have been translated better, and some are quite misleading, and some are close but still confusing. So I decided to look into every verse, or more so to consider retranslating the entire Bible as accurately as I can, using other accurate literal translations as a guide, but going into the Strong's Concordance for the meanings of the words and the most literal meaning that I could find, to create a Bible which is as accurate as I can possibly write it. But that's not all. I'm also creating a website for this ministry, Jehoshua.org, JEHOSHUA.org. And I also decided that I will go out and reach people directly in the parks and places like that. In the Bible, it says that there was a wedding feast and the guests didn't turn up, so the ruler sent out his servants to the public areas to pull anyone in to be guests. And that's talking about God and salvation, but I'm going to take that literally as well. If I'm only getting a couple of people turning up to the meetings at home, well, then I'm going to take the meetings out to public barbecue areas and put a sign up saying free barbecue, and some small note with it, something like, and we'll tell you about God, or tell you about Jesus, or something to that line, who knows. So it will be a matter of giving them some food and talking about Jesus with them right there in the park. And the parks around here, some of them are quite crowded. I'm talking about beachside parks where there's literally thousands of people. It doesn't stop there, as I also need to follow people up, and I will have to teach others to do these things, to create a network of churches and expand God's work. So there's other things that I'm doing as well, I just can't think of right now. The point being, what does this all cost? Other than printing for handout leaflets and the mailbox drops, etc. There's website costs, and there's food, and there's transport, and there needs to be people to do a lot of these things. And as I won't be able to do them all, I'm just doing so much now, I'll break it down in a little while. And I'll need to pay them. But until there's enough money to do that, I will continue doing everything myself, as I don't have thousands of dollars a week that would be required to pay people. So right now, I come up with the ideas, I create the leaflets, I print them, I deliver them, I create messages, I buy and make the food, I build the website, I film the videos, I edit them, I upload them, I transliterate, I keep in contact and chase people up. I am also going out on the streets and interviewing people. Now, I'm not saying that I'm great. I'm not saying that I do things well. I'm not saying that, oh, look at me. I'm just giving you an idea that there is so much to be done. And at the moment, I'm the only one doing it. I can't do it all. I can't keep this pace up. I can't keep up with the future costs. And I'm not asking for money here, but if you can give, please do. What I'm asking is for a little bit of your time. What do I do with my time? What a video costs in hours and its monetary value, and what reaching people on the streets costs in the same hours, etc. I'll break it down. Well, firstly, what am I doing now? A 20 to 30 minute video. If I've written a message and edited that message and filmed the video and then edit the video, a 20 to 30 minute video for a church message or Bible message will take me 8 hours. A church meeting will take me about 4 hours to do all those things. A personal message like this one is going to take me potentially a couple of hours. And for me to do the Bible verse by verse series, 90 verses will take about 12 hours. And the interviews, well, I expect I'll be doing around about 8 hours a week, and that's interviewing people and editing and traveling to and from. Translating the Bible, I'm doing that 4 or 5 hours a week. I'm working on the website about 3 hours a week. I'm uploading messages and the like to the Facebook group for an hour or two a week. I will be, as I said, getting out to create barbecues, to meet people and deliver messages to them there. I'm planning to do that for about 4 or 5 hours a week, I guess. And contact and following people up, maybe 3 or 4 hours a week, and hopefully training people as well for another couple of hours a week. So what have we got together? We've got something like 55 to 60 hours a week, and let's just call it about 58 hours a week. And in Australia, the minimum wage is $25 an hour. So if I was to pay somebody even the minimum wage to do that, that's $1,450 a week. I don't have that. I'm not asking for the money. Again, as I mentioned, if you can help, great, fine. But what I'm asking is for you to help with your time. Firstly, biblically, the first thing to do is to pray. But more than that, I also want, if you can, to give your time to help. Just contact us, let me know that you can spare some time, and I'll let you know that what you can do, especially in contacting people and telling them about this so that everyone can get involved. Revival starts with asking people how and finding out how, because revival isn't just a message of turn your life to Jesus or you're going to hell, and that's it. It's a lot more than that. Sure, Jesus said, go into all the world and preach the gospel to all nations. But what came next? Discipling them is the next words. We are to teach them about how to be Christians and teach them to do the same, to go out into all the world as well, and how to appropriately bring people to Jesus. So without these things, without everyone doing it, especially Christian groups and Christian social groups and people going out and reaching others, revival does not happen. If you want revival, let's get together and find out what to do and get it to happen. Because that's what God wants. There are just so many verses in the Bible about reaching others and doing it wisely, not offending them, etc. So it's not scary messages of, go to God or you're going to hell. It's showing them God's love. It's directing them softly. So there's a lot of ministries out there, but which are godly. I've heard some lies from some of the most famous, and some of them have been caught up in other sins as well. And as mentioned, I'm not perfect, not at all. But what is my focus? As mentioned, souls, salvation, and revival. How many of those top ministers do you see focusing on that? On the Matthew 28 scriptures of go into all the world and preach the gospel to all creation. That's what my focus is. That's what I want our focus to be. The focus for other ministers, it's send us money. We're just poor ministers begging you for your money so that we can buy a new jet. I ask for your time. Help me, sure. But even more important, your time to start revival, even if it's just to fill your own church. How many are asking for your time? How many are asking for you to fuel the fires of revival? And how many even offer you ideas on how to do that? I don't see them. All I see them is saying, well, here's a Bible message about something that isn't really reaching people. Please send our ministry money. I'm going to read something from the New Life Version. Matthew 7:15. Watch out for false teachers. They come to you dressed as if they were sheep. On the inside, they are hungry wolves. You will know them by their fruit. Do men pick grapes from thorns? Do men pick figs from thistles? It is true, every good tree has good fruit. Every bad tree has bad fruit. A good tree cannot have bad fruit. A bad tree cannot have good fruit. Every tree that does not have good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. So you will know them by their fruit. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will go to the holy nation of heaven. The one who does the things my Father in heaven wants him to do will go to the holy nation of heaven. Many people will say to me on that day, Lord, Lord, did we not preach in your name? Did we not put out demons in your name? Did we not do many powerful works in your name? Then I will say to them in plain words, I never knew you. Go away from me, you who do wrong. So, good fruit from good trees and bad fruit from bad trees. But Jesus says they go to heaven and they say they preached in his name. Good things. Drove out demons in his name. Good things. Did powerful works in his name. Good things. But how do you know a fruit? Do you know if it's good by looking at it? Not necessarily. Some of the time you can pick up a good-looking apple, bite into it, and it's rotten in the middle. On the outside it looks good, but the fruit itself is bad. It's what is inside. So, if these people are preaching in their name to raise money for themselves, it's not for God. It's for themselves. The fruit looks good. It's rotten inside. They do powerful works in God's name. Oh, we built this hospital in God's name, or whatever else it might have been. I created this ministry for God. And so I get fame and I get money and it's all about me. Ooh, okay. On the outside it looks good, but on the inside it's rotten. We know them by their fruit. But what's inside? Okay, so straight after that, we've got Jesus teaching about the house on the rock and house on the sand. The houses are the same, but it's where they're built. What's the foundation? What's on the inside? I'll just leave that one now. I could talk about that for hours. In fact, I've created a message on that, purely those couple of verses, and that goes for quite a while. So, just to sum this up, if you agree or see this as worthwhile, I ask you to contact me right now. Send me an email or an SMS or call. Even if your message is as simple as, I will help. People are going to help. I can reach a few, but with your help, we can reach millions for God. Please reach out now. A call or a message saying, I will help. And from there, I'll let you know how we can get it done. Because doing it together, learning the right things, setting the right times, there's a lot of things that you can do to make it happen. Just wishing it happens is not enough. The first action is to step out and say, yes, I will. Show me how. Please do that. Contact details are below. Go in grace, govern well in charis.